Hey everybody and welcome to Chairman of the Board. Today I'm talking about an ultra light kind of roll and move game called Marrakech. Now this is a game for 2 to 4 players, it takes around 20 minutes or so to play. As I said, it's a roll and move game, but that's not all that kind of goes into it. Basically you have got this grid of, I don't know what the grid is, maybe a 10 by 10, maybe a bit smaller than that. And you've got this pawn in the middle. And all you're doing is you're rolling this d6, which isn't actually a d6. It's got like 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s on there, I believe. And you are moving the pawn that many spaces. And as soon as you land on a space, you are laying a piece of carpet of your color. And you can lay it either at the feet of the pawn, either going directly away from him or across him. And then it will go to the next player. And then when it comes to the next player, they can either move it or 90 degrees. So they can move it either left or right, but they can't go directly back on themselves. And they're doing the same thing. They are rolling the die, moving it, and then placing a bit of carpet down. But obviously, as the game goes on, you are putting more and more carpet on the board. And then eventually it'll come to a point where you've got no choice but to land on a bit of carpet. And then if you land on an opponent's piece of carpet, you have to pay them the amount of gold equal to the amount of squares that their carpet is covering. So basically you are trying to cover big plots of land. So you're trying to link up all your carpets to cover as much surface as possible. So when the other opponents land on your spot, they have to pay you loads of money in return. And that is essentially all the game is. Not only are you going to get the points from what you accumulate throughout the game, but also you're going to get a coin for each square that your carpets are covering at the end of the game. So so that's all the game involves. It's a very simple game. It has it almost has this kind of like retro, almost like old-fashioned style game feel to it. It's got this nice big wooden chunky pawn. The actual bits of carpet themselves, they aren't a bit of cardboard, they are actual legitimate fabric, which is a really nice touch. You can cover, what I should have said as well is when you land on certain spots, you can cover other people's pieces of carpet so that you're kind of taking points off them, or you're getting more kind of area surface majority, which is what you want. The kind of gamble that goes into, as I said, once you're completely covered with carpet, you've got to make the best option of what you've got. So you can either try and jump over huge bits of carpet and hope you land on a bit of your own, because if you land on your own bit of carpet, you don't have to pay anything. So it's all about that kind of probability. It really is, for such a simple, almost silly game, it really is good fun. It's so simple, but I think that kind of gambling, that kind of push your luck just is almost unavoidable to enjoy. And it just works really, really well. I said, decision-wise, it's literally, am I going to gamble landing on this huge bit of carpet? Am I going to play it safe? Am I going to try and link up my carpet or go in a different direction? It really is just roll the dice and see what happens. But again, it works really well. It can definitely, the luck of the game can really turn against you, and as maybe some players, everything's going their way. Every time you roll, you land on their spot, and it's very hard to recover from that. But in a game like this, it's so light, it doesn't matter at all. Mechanisms can be taught to a bloody 3-year-old. It's that simple. The game takes a very, a very sharp kind of timestamp to play. Doesn't outstay its welcome at all. The game will end when one person has spent all their carpet pieces on the board. Player uptime as well is really interesting. Well, it's really interesting. It's no problem at all, because even when other players are taking their turn, it's literally just to roll the dice and move the pawn, but you are always kind of eager to see if they're going to land on your spot, because when it's not your turn, that's when you're going to be gaining your money. So yeah, interesting that way. It has that kind of addictiveness to it where you want to keep coming back to it. So the replayability, while it's the same game every time essentially, it's got that kind of addictive feel to it. We're going to keep coming back to it. Very enjoyable. The player interaction is very funny, because as I said, once people land in your spot, it's just funny, and you rinse them of their money, and then they really are fighting an uphill battle from there. The look of the game fits the game so well. I mean, the fabric pieces really do pop. They're nice bright colours. They lay on top of each other really nice. They're functional as well, because they don't slip all over the place. They do kind of grab onto each other quite nicely. The pawn itself is nice, chunky, wooden kind of Turkish man. It's really, really funny to look at. And yeah, I love the look of it. I love the feel of it. It's very kind of tactile, and yeah, no problems there at all. The quality as well is equally as good. The theme, I think it's like you're supposed to be kind of selling your carpets to this guy. It doesn't really make sense, but who cares? It's a very simple roll and move game. And set up and tear down time, no issue at all. Dish your carpets out and you're good to go. Yeah, overall, for a game that's so ridiculously silly, so quick, so light, I mean, this is probably the lightest, or one of the lightest games I have in the collection. It's an absolute joy to play. I really do enjoy it. Everyone I've played it with has really enjoyed it because it's just fun. Silly fun, nothing to think about, just sit back and enjoy just enjoy it. So yeah, one that's definitely, it's a good game. It's going to get a good rating from me. There's there's no real strategy, there's no real tactics in this at all, but who cares? It's good fun for what it is. That's Marrakech, a very simple game for 2 to 4 players. One that you should check out if you play games with your family or players who aren't so much into your heavy games. You don't want to learn a lot of rules. This one's still fun and it's quick. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick review of Marrakech. If you have, please hit like and subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos too. For everyone else, I'll see you next time on Chairman of the Board. Bye.